If you or a loved one has COPD, sudden worsening of symptoms can be dangerous. In the next 2 minutes, I'm going to go over how to recognize a COPD exacerbation and what to do if you're having one. A COPD exacerbation is a sudden flare-up of symptoms. So your symptoms that you have on a day-to-day basis are going to be cranked up. You're going to have increased shortness of breath. You may notice that your oxygen level is down a little bit from where it usually is. You will have more fatigue, and you will have less ability to do just the general things around the house that you normally do. On top of that, you will have an increased cough, and your mucus might even change colors. COPD exacerbations are brought on by being triggered to something. So basically, it can be anything. I always recommend, if you do have COPD, to figure out what your specific triggers are. And that's because that way you can try to avoid them. But COPD exacerbation is going to be caused by being exposed to some sort of trigger that's going to give you some extra inflammation in there. And it could be caused by some sort of infection or a lingering infection that you had even a couple of weeks ago. So there are different things that can bring it out, but basically it's going to be something that's going to cause more irritation in your lungs. The reason that it's so important to recognize when an exacerbation is starting is because if it is left untreated, it could be an emergent situation. So when I did work in the hospital, that was something that I would see a lot, is people would come into the emergency room in a very, very bad COPD exacerbation, almost life-threatening. And it would turn out that symptoms started, anywhere between 9 to 14 days before they ever came in. So a lot of people don't really want to go to the doctor, which I totally understand. But if you have COPD or you have a loved one who has COPD, if the symptoms start to get worse like that, you really need to just kind of cut them off at the beginning, get treatment. It might be an antibiotic, it might be steroids, whatever the doctor recommends. But you want to go ahead and do that before it turns into an emergent situation. Go to the emergency room or call emergency services if you have any of the following symptoms: discoloration, as in blue or gray lips or skin, confusion, fainting, severe shortness of breath. All of those are reasons to go to the emergency room. The biggest takeaway is that early preventative medicine is going to keep you out of those emergency situations. So you've got to get to the doctor when you first start noticing an exacerbation coming on. It's important that you talk to your doctor and get a written action plan. This is going to help you. That way you know exactly what to do if your symptoms begin. On top of the action plan, you want to make sure that you get any vaccines that your doctor recommends, and you also want to see what your triggers are and then avoid them.